She gave a name to a world that took her shine for fame. When she spoke out, they turned away, but her spirit refused to fade away. Unfiltered, she's telling it all. No fear, no filter. She's breaking the wall. Vatiswa's voice you can't erase. Her truth's a fire the world must face. She's seen the cruelty, she's felt the pain, but her words are healing the stage again. For every dreamer, she lights the way. Unfiltered, her truth will stay. Unfiltered, the stories are real. Vatiswa Ndara, her wounds now heal. No filter, no mask, no chain. Her voice is rising again. Get the book, Unfiltered, by Vatiswa Ndara. Her truth, her courage, her legacy.
Wow, her truth, her courage, her legacy. Beautiful song, Pamfondini. And I perform one day. One day. Good evening to all our listeners and viewers across the world, and welcome to a very special broadcast. Tonight we host the official launch of a powerful and brave book, Unfiltered, by one and only Vatiswa Ndara, a friend of mine. This is not just a book. It is a revelation, a well-written account that exposes the harsh realities and deep-rooted challenges within the film and production industry. Since its online release last month, Unfiltered has received more positive reviews than negative. And like we always say, once people read it, they will be converted, because truth has a way of finding its way into the hearts of those who are ready to hear it. Before we continue, we would like to offer our sincere apologies on behalf of Putco Mafani, whom we had requested to facilitate this launch. Putco knows Vatiswa, and as he fondly calls her, Mavati, way back from their early days in the industry. And he had read the book. He was fully prepared, and he was really ready to engage. But unfortunately, circumstances beyond his control made it impossible for him to be with us tonight. We truly appreciate his willingness and spirit. Thank you very much, Chawe. Thank you, Nomkali. Now, this is not a spectator event. I must warn you, this is an unfiltered conversation. We invite you, our audience, to ask unfiltered questions to Umavati, honest, real, and bold. And I will, of course, be leading the pack. I do have a set of my unfiltered questions. And so wherever you are, sit back, relax, and tell a friend to tell a friend that we are on. And of course, a special shout out to everyone streaming and supporting this moment. Thank you very much, Nduna, Umafa Pavuma, Ushumela Kabo, Zanzi Cafe Radio, all the way at Germany, Umdaka Mchiselwa Paya Ubantu, and the Unfiltered Watch Party in the UK. We see you guys, we see you, and we appreciate you. And of course, to all the platforms that are sharing and circulating this link far and wide, thank you very much for making this global. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the launch of Unfiltered by Vatiswa Ndara. Molo wethu mavat.
Molweni.
Thank you very much. We are connected, and it's really great to hear your voice and also to see your face. And I'm sure your fans, your followers, your friends, your family, they are also excited and ecstatic to see you tonight. How are you?
I'm good. I'm breathing, which is the most important thing. I'm alive.
Yeah.
And I know people haven't seen me in quite a while. It's been a minute, as the youth of today says. But here I am, and let's unfilter away.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been an hour. It's been a month. But I just want, to hit the ground running. I just want us to state our business right here and make it fast. And of course, people must remember that, as you can see, the scrolling text that you can get this book from Take a Lot or at Amazon anywhere in the world. And Mabati Usingaye is this book, Unfiltered. What inspired you to write Unfiltered, and why now?
Well, it's not actually now. The release, I think, is now. I wrote Unfiltered towards the end of 2021, and I finished it in 2022. So the first edition was released in 2022, and I had to write Unfiltered because I could see that things were only going to get worse for me. There had been, for the longest time, a smearing of my name, and within industry circles, media, and I didn't know how deep this went. I would find things out, like ask a person to do something for me, and people would tell me that we mentioned your name, and they were like, no, we don't, even in corporate spaces where I have no business. So I realized this is really damaging, and our industry and the work that we do relies heavily on reputation. So if there are people who are out there intent on ruining your reputation, there's just no room for you to grow. So Unfiltered was partly inspired by that as well, amongst many other things.
And indeed, it does expose the rot in the entertainment industry. And what are you specifically referring to? Say a young person who is eager to join this industry, and because they are excited, because there will be, seen by people on the screen, not knowing that beyond fame, there are realities that one encounter.
So, the industry is very challenging, especially right now. But the beauty now is that information is out there. So the youth, they know, they've seen what happens with people in the industry. So like I keep on saying, the only thing I can say to them is to choose their authentic selves. And you have to be comfortable with the person you choose to be, the person that you are not ashamed of being. And my brother is always talking about the road less traveled. You will be unpopular when you take certain things or certain steps to protect yourself, because you are authentically grounded in who you are, in the beliefs that you've been brought up by. So if you choose that, you will be labeled, you will be called names. I don't want to say it's a lonely road. You will be alone, but being alone brings a great amount of peace.
Yeah. Mabati, it's been 5 years, if I'm not mistaken, without you being seen, in the game. Was this book more about healing for you or a fight for justice or both?
I think it was both. Healing in that I had bottled up so much. I carried quite a load, and I couldn't openly share with people. And the only thing that was happening was me talking to agents about the complaints that I had about how things were run, certain producers. But I felt that I couldn't share with fellow artists the things that I was going through. So I decided to bottle up quite a lot, hoping that one day that I will be rewarded and be able to move forward. But that didn't happen. And I realized that my spirit was going to be broken. And when I was blacklisted after the open letter, that was my quiet time. That could have been time for me to live in my head, in the darkness of my head. But somehow I carried on, and Unfiltered just, it gave me reason to hope again, because I could offload on paper. And so Unfiltered gave me that strength. It was actually my defiance. I can say Unfiltered is my defiance.
It is your defiance, indeed. Some things, when they happen to us, they just take us out of character. And that brings me to the question, Mavateti, what truths were the hardest for you to put on paper when you were penning this book?
Everything about this book was hard, because I'm a very private person. And I'd always told myself that I will never write a book. It was never on my bingo cards, but circumstances forced my hand. And so to write about and expose your vulnerabilities is not because now you have to relive some of the things, but it's the only way. So writing about my experiences, is just rather unflattering. And so the entire thing of writing the book was actually hard, but also cathartic, and hopefully leading to my complete healing.
You mentioned the open letter, and of course its aftermath. Let's take it back to the open letter, Mavati, that you wrote to former Minister Nathi Mthethwa. May his soul rest in peace. What pushed you to that point, emotionally and, of course, professionally?
I think people thought I snapped at that time. What people don't realize is that the open letter was happening throughout the years. It's just that year, I just couldn't take it anymore. I realized, I hadn't been able to take care of my mother. She was sick. And I realized that I'm not moving forward at all. I'm being offered rates of yesteryear. Instead of moving forward, I'm taking 20 steps back. So it had been a buildup over years. And 2019 was just the year for me to put it on paper and raise the industry issues with the former now late minister.
And did you expect the level of backlash that followed after
Oh,
you've
yes.
returned to the minister?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When I was writing the open letter, I was with two people. We were all sitting. It was like a brainstorming session. So I would dictate, and the person would type, and that's one of the things that I raised, that people are not going to be happy about this. So the backlash was just expected from me, because what I'd also realized with the public is that they loved my work, and
Yeah.
what it seemed was happening was that they only wanted me in my work and nothing else. So I had no right in their minds to raise the issues that are raised, because she's just this person that we love. We don't want her causing problems. I
Yeah.
mean, some of them would even say that, oh, I used to love this lady, but now look at what she's doing. So that's the mindset, that you don't have a right. You are just this pawn to be pushed along this way and pulled back. You can't raise issues. You're just an actor. Take what they
Yeah.
give you and be grateful. And so it came to me as no surprise at all.
And, parallel to that hardship, Mavati, you were looking after your mother.
Yeah.
As fans, as South Africans, we marveled, when we saw you on the screen, on our small screens, and, entertaining us. And we didn't even know that, after that, you'll have to go and look after your sickly mother. Tell us, how did you really, really balance the two, having to give your best in front of the camera, and off the camera, you have to take care of your sickly mom?
I don't know. I think, it's just, I don't want to say going with the flow, but you know what you have to do. I mean, as I say in the book, there'd be times I'd be, after shooting on Mubango, I'd have to go to the airport, fly to East London, and go and check on my mother, because I'd always felt that, and this was such a heavy burden for me, that
Yeah.
I couldn't give her or offer the comfort that she deserved. And here she had this famous daughter, but what did it mean in the end? You know, and there'd be times like when it's her birthday, I can't even afford to go home and celebrate with her. So her situation is just probably one of the heaviest things that I've had to deal with. And
Yeah.
to think that she had this famous daughter, if I didn't have my siblings at her funeral, what was going to happen if I was the only child? You know, so I am fortunate because I have siblings who can pull things together. And I'm the one who's supposed to be, saying, oh, okay, no, I've got this. But
Yeah.
I had nothing to offer. And that's probably one of the biggest regrets in my life, that I couldn't,
Yeah. And I'm sure some actors out there, they can relate to this. Getting back to that letter, you were, especially with social media space, you were accused of being disrespectful for speaking out. Looking back, would you still write that letter the same way today?
10 times. I would
Yeah.
write that letter 10 times again, because there's nothing wrong in raising your grievances. There's nothing wrong. I did absolutely nothing wrong by saying this makes me unhappy. And people, I know there were complaints about, but why didn't she just speak to the production company in question? And what people don't know is that that's how I operate. I always request to sit down with people, but they always run for the hills, because I think at the same time they know what I'm going to say, and I'm going to speak truth directly to them. Everybody that I tried to sit down with avoided having a conversation with me because they knew what they'd done. But people didn't know that. I mean, you'd hear people saying, but why did she sign the contract? I didn't sign the contract. And that was the thing that I was putting forward, that I cannot sign a contract without us sitting down and discussing certain issues. And when nobody came, I realized it was game up.
Well, I did indicate that it is not a spectator event. Of course, we've got people that are joining and commenting, and I encourage those comments to come, questions to come direct to Umavati, and of course, he will entertain your questions. And number one, ndade ndambona uVeticare. Utsho ke uMariza uthi I am so excited. And then uKithi yena uthi speak Mavati speak. And uNhlakanipho Bhahaza uthi nice to see you alive and kicking. Mavati. You're not only alive, you are kicking.
Hey.
And then we have my Libran Queen, Vatiswa Ndara, Mariza, and Ferik Vuyo Yabulisa yena. Okay, baya choke nabanye babukeleyo phayana ku Mafaz. We did, of course, acknowledge abantu that have extended their audiences for this. Dolls, yena uthi we love you. We love you too, Dolls.
Thank you.
And then, wow, I'm so proud of you, ma'am. Ucho yena Victory Loyiso. Okay, sizawufuna ke more questions to come through, guys. Especially tell us if you have bought the book, if you bought the book and you've read it, and give us the highlights. Tell us, maybe you want something you want Mavati to clarify on the book as you are reading it. Share with us. This is your space. This is your time. My role is easy, is to link you with your favorite actress, Umavati. And let's get back to it, Mavati, while we're waiting for our viewers and listeners to engage more with you today. How did the industry's response affect your mental health at the time?
Look, what happened wasn't really surprising for me. I mean, we know when we speak of the rot in the industry, we're talking about non-regulation, which means there's no safe space for actors to speak up. So people are scared of being blacklisted. You know, it's now become a culture of fear being traded in for art. So what happened then when people couldn't? I expected that. In fact, I was doing this for me first and foremost, because I was in the situation at the time. So it wasn't really shocking. And I can't say I was disappointed because it was expected. And as I said in the letter, I indicated that I'm expecting to be blacklisted, and which actually happened. So it wasn't, the mental stuff is something that I'd been carrying for the past, I don't know how many years. With the treatment that I'd gotten, there was anxiety, there was self-doubt. So it wasn't really caused by the fact that people didn't stand up and say, we support you. It was just my own demons that I'd been carrying all along.
Yeah. And talking of mental health, in the book, you do share, how close you were to Gabriel. And people don't laugh about it. Because the question, we are the redirector. You attempted to take your own life, leaving everything, including your one and only son. What pushed you? Of course, you are a strong woman, you are a woman of strength, but something must have pushed you to that decision. Can you share a bit on that?
I just didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was just not there. No matter how hard or how long I was walking through this tunnel. It just felt like if the more I tried to walk towards it, it was like I was pushing it further back. And at the time, you can imagine, I was staying with my son. And I would look at him, and he was such an uncomplicated child. And I think that also just made me feel bad. He's got no demands, he's got nothing, but I want to give him something. I want us to have a good life together. And every day I felt I was failing him. I was failing me. I was failing Umem. And I realized, and then I decided, I said, there's just no point. There's just no point. I mean, I get everything wrong all the time. I even got that wrong. Couldn't even take my own life.
The attempt itself, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't want us to get deeper.
No.
I want people to go and buy the book. Yeah. Of course, from Take a Lot, and of course on Amazon. Mandihambe nabo wethu izihlobo zam apha. Uthi okay, makabule novuyo love for you. Okay. Frederick would also swati awusemhle. I bought the book.
Yay!
And I'm looking forward to reading it. Funda lo ncwadi Vuyo. Then Sis Aya Ngesi. Do you think the industry is changing, or do we still have a long way to go? That's the question from Aya is the one that I gave birth to. So that's the question on the screen. Do you think the industry is changing, or do we still have a long way to go?
I'm on the long way to go because the stories that are still coming out are still just as pathetic. I mean, this year we've seen what's happened with some of the artists asking for money on social media. In 2025, how long has this challenge and the pathetic state of the arts, how long has that cry been there? And no one seems to hear it. So when a question like that is raised, there's only one way I can go. And it's to say that there's still a very long way to go. There's just no hope. And the thing is there willingness from the powers that be to change it? Because they can't be hearing the same thing year in and year out and not do anything. So are they willing to change? Are they willing to do anything to better the lives of actors?
That's the question. That's the question that we want you to respond to as a viewer and as a listener. And there comes another question from Umandi Simsongela. Uti, what a good book. Am I the only one who cannot stop reading it? You are not. You are not the only one. Mna ndingoswa kwi-Guinness Book of Record. Don't ufunda. But in that 2 days, it is engaging, it is arresting. Yenza yonke. But Mandis, I want you to share highlights. You know, izinto oqoba indishokile lena ithe yathi ndiyayazi ke zikhona ne-moments ezibangela ubana sihleke uthi usahleka uphinde uthi gwantyi inyembezi idlala ngathi, but the bottom line is unfiltered. It is unfiltered. But siye ku Mr. Utnap. Hey, ungandibethi umntaka Utnap. Uthi Sismavathi, from the first page, I felt how heavy the book is. I even had to pause. But the humor, yes, you added really stood out. What made it important for you to bring that humor into such a heavy story? Please tell us.
Wow. And look, I think in most cases, the scenario that I'd be talking about, it wasn't even that I was trying to make it funny. For instance, there's where I talk about going to auditions in Lone Hill. Those who've read the book will know. and that it's just funny the way that it happened. But I think the humor comes through without any intention from me. I think it's my thoughts. The thoughts that I put after everything that I think, what was going on here? And I would put that thought down. And I think that probably because someone can relate to it, that's why it becomes funny. Because going through something like that, you probably would also have a reaction, whatever the situation might be. So I think, well, it's also like Home Affairs. People found Miriam funny because the story was too heavy. And also, I'm just somebody who loves a good sense of humor. I didn't know I had it. So I'm glad if it came through in the book.
But uyidiva nje njani kaloku ube ne-sense of humor? Uyidiva, you are difficult, kunzima usebenza nawe, uphinde ube ne-sense of humor. Hayi.
Indoni leyo.
Uyasiphidisa Mavathi. Uqaphela Majola ngapha edutywa uthi always good to see you sisi. Ifumaneka njani le ncwadi? Funda apha at the bottom of the screen, Tishara Umajola. Get your copy from Take a Lot okanye Amazon. Ndiza kuyishare i-link. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can just type Unfiltered and then uzayifumana and iyakhawuleza ke wena ulapha eMzantsi Afrika. Take a Lot takes 2-3 days max. Then you have the book. Thank you, Kapela, for watching. Tag your friends. Pagu status uthi niyaphoswa. Ayiphinde yenzeke. Launchwa once, and this is a global launch. Akuzothi kuzawuze yasedutywa, izolaunchwa edutywa. Ilaunchwa apha ngoku iphelele apha le launch. Aboxela abanye ke mfana. And then let's take Uvusumzi January. Uyamkhumbula kuVusumzi January? Hlobo sethu sangapha eGerman. Uthi ke uMavusi uBantu, the Cape Town incident with the producers and the agent saying they thought you will sleep over at your family's place because you are from the Cape. And then the incident, Chops, what was happening in your head when you had to recall such ignorance and ridiculousness and put it on paper? oko ndikhuza ndihleka ndiyikhumbula kakuhle le incident noba usebenzise ii-props zakho kuphinde ungabhatalwa for zona kake usikrobise Mavathi.
Oh, it was such a draining time, you know, and I suppose also now, because these are incidents that happened in the past, maybe that's why also I can narrate them the way that I am, because now I'm more relaxed. And I look back and think, what was going on there? Why would I be expected to go and work in Cape Town without any accommodation? I have to pay for my own accommodation. I'm still offering these people my tops, my high heels for the character. And it was such a frustrating time. And, you know, well, as I say in the book, I almost left a couple of times. I almost left that production because I'd never been so drained, you know, fighting for what I thought were basics. If you're an actor coming from another city, going to work in another city, you would think it's obvious that you're going to get accommodation. You are expected to play a certain character, but then they don't want, and this is why I make fun of my legs, because the character was supposed to be sexy, but now they're putting her in flats with my ugly legs in flats, but playing sexy, you know, and those things were so frustrating. And the fact that they thought, oh, she's from the Cape, you can stay with family, you know, saving money and not thinking of how this is going to affect performance, because you can't be staying with people and expecting them to do things because now you are in the house. Imagine I come and stay at your place, Keystonditi, at 7 o'clock. I want everyone to be quiet because I have to go through my lines. Imagine, but this is what was expected. And I just had to put my foot down and be like, no. And when did I find out I'm going to Cape Town? It was a Friday, and I was told Sunday you're leaving. I've lost you. I can't hear now.
Okay, ufikele kwamzala pha.
Yeah.
Baxele nge-11th hour uba
You
we're going
know?
to Cape Town.
Yeah. You know, when I arrived, that's when I got a place to sleep. I arrived and I had to call a friend of mine, Udebi, said, listen, I need a place to sleep just for tonight. And I'm saying tonight, and I didn't know what was going to happen tomorrow, because I wasn't going to inconvenience people, because there was no proper planning with the production. Or there probably was. That's just how much they don't respect us.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Yeah, before I get back to my questions, I just want to take the last two, and then we flow with our conversation. Oh, ubuyile tishara waseDutshwa. Uthi coming to Dutshwa wouldn't be a bad idea, though. We have a new mall there. Usisi can come for a promotion, sign a few copies, and all that. Idutshwa idolophu. Municipality. Uthi yena ubulelwa Makeke uthi I'm going to order a few copies to also share with friends. Bafunde over the holidays. Bravo to you, Mavathi. You had to be the sacrificial lamb for the long journey of turning the industry around. Masendi Mtata naye Candy. Uti, a very interesting story. Thank you for being true to yourself as South Africans. If we are true to ourselves, Usis Vet is speaking the truth. Please comment on the celebrities who passed on being penniless. Uchiwo ke Mavati, comment celebrities as the passer on being penless. Maybe they didn't have courage to, come out just like you did. What's your comment there?
And that's one of the things I was avoiding. It's when you're gone, and there's no one who's going to speak on your behalf. You don't have the chance to tell people this is what I've gone through. Do not laugh at the situation. You don't know what has been happening in the industry. So I was, in my mind, I was saying, when I pass on, this book must be there to answer for me. It must be there to speak up for me, so that whatever is raised, people can then say, but in the book she said. And unfortunately, a lot of legends and a lot of other artists passed on without having had an opportunity to tell their side of the story, because also the platforms are not friendly to people who are going to speak up, and raise and reveal and expose the things that are happening. So I forced to give myself that platform through this book.
Wow. Okay. Now let's get back to our conversation, and then of course in between I will take comments and questions. So, do you think industry Mavati used that moment? Public la open letter. Did they use that moment to silence you rather than to listen to you?
Listening is not something the industry does, and they'd always somehow blacklisted me. What happened then was a continuation of things that had been happening over the years. I've never jumped from one production to the next. There'd be times that I'd shoot 13 episodes of something, and for a year or two, I wouldn't work. And I realized this pattern, it's to, for lack of a better phrase, it's to humble you. You mustn't think you're all that. Let's leave her, put her on ice for a year or two. So when we come back, she'll be hungry and she'll jump for whatever rate we give her. So this time I was willing to go all the way. I was willing to say, okay, it's fine. I'm used to it. Or anyway, I'd rather die poor because I'm not working than be poor whilst working. It just doesn't make sense to work yourself into poverty. And that's what was happening.
And of course, you've been labeled difficult, arrogant, even a diva, as I mentioned. Do you see this as punishment for speaking out, perhaps?
This came even before the letter. This diva, difficult person, it's been there for so many years. And this is why I ask in the book, why don't the people who started this narrative, why don't they come up and say publicly what it is that I've done? Because I've never stopped a production because I didn't have my favorite chocolate. I've never been late. I've never done anything. I've always been on time. I'd always come, I respected the craft. But somewhere along the line, something happened and no one is telling me what. I know there are people who say, but this lady doesn't take responsibility. She's just complaining. What responsibility? Give examples of what you're talking about when you say something like that. Because then you are schooling me and saying, in saying, in this situation, maybe you could have handled it like this. But as you see in the book, I've put everything out there, even the ones where you would say, oh, now she was really losing her mind. I've put everything out there for people to see what was happening. And still, no one is saying, the reason we labeled her this way is because of ABCD. No one is saying that.
Yeah. And I'm going to take one more, but I just want to ask this question, Mavati. What sacrifices, I'm sure many people want to know that, what sacrifices did you have to make to survive this silent season? And I know it is still silent.
It is, but I don't feel I've sacrificed. When you're doing what you believe is right, it just feels right. But also, I could ask, what kind of sacrifices? There are spiritual sacrifices, there are physical, there. What are we talking about? I haven't sacrificed. If not working and keeping your dignity and integrity is a sacrifice, then I'm okay with that. It's worth it. It's worth it because I refuse to be something that I'm not. I couldn't be what was expected, what I was expected to be, which was to just take everything lying down. I couldn't be that person. So if I've sacrificed myself and losing out on anything, then I'm okay with that.
And where did you draw strength from when the phone stopped ringing?
My phone has never been busy. So I've never had a busy phone. So during the quiet time, I mean, if it's busy, it's because I'm on a production, or once in a blue moon, I'm told about an audition. So I've never had a busy phone from Cape Town wants you for this, or there's something in Durban. So this was not new. It was just a continuation, but now much longer, which I think my mind was already prepared for.
And who stood by you when the industry turned its back on you?
The important people, probably 5 of them. You because I've always operated as a loner, you don't really expect much, and so when you don't carry the weight of expectation, you are more or less okay. The people that matter, that understand you, and that give that pure support, they'll be there. And they were, even if just to check up, they can't change the situation, but they are just there for you. And so those people, the right people, were there.
Yeah. Okay, let's take this one just for a breather. Uti Uvusums is back again. Uti, sorry for all the questions. I'm rewatching Igazi now, and your performance is that in that project feels like it came from another dimension. How did you center yourself enough to deliver that level of work while dealing with this, with so much exploitation and mistreatment on set, and carrying the crew's emotions when they were given, and only 100 rand for per diems, and all of that, 100 rand, and all of that while you were also going through your own personal drama? Uyabuza Uvusums.
Um, being on set is a very special place for me, and um, performance of another character, you are able to escape your own reality. And when I'm on set, I don't bring my problems to set because it's such a sacred space for me. And I think sometimes this the universe just didn't align when it came to that for me, because I would feel sometimes producers see how much I adore what I do and how much I give to every character, and they thought, let's just punish her for the fun of it, because I just couldn't understand the things that were happening to me. So that's how I managed to just carry on, and because I did not want to bring my problems to any set, and it was easy to do that because you are going to step into somebody else's shoes and escape from your reality.
And did you ever consider giving up on acting completely?
Well, that's what I've done now. Because
Bad news,
that's what
bad news, bad news.
because I just don't see the end, and I don't want to bring doom and gloom, but this is the reality that I feel and see. There's just I don't know what would bring me back, because once trust is gone, I'm just one of those people. The trust has been broken. I would never trust being on a set. That's what's been taken away. And with everything that's happened, with all that's been said and done, why would I want to put myself through that again? There's just, I just don't see anything that could be done to say, come back.
Have you found peace with how everything unfolded?
Yeah, no. I'm in a peaceful, I can't say the peace is now completely quiet, but it's getting there. I'm going to have that quiet peace, because the little demons are still dancing there, the anxieties, and, they creep in once in a while. But I'm getting to a point of finding that quiet peace.
Yeah. Usilk Damoy uti, I wanted to touch on how sacred your craft is. Sadly, the world knows how to put out a flame. With everything that has happened, with putting all of it on paper, where are you with acting? And is there hope to see you somewhere if the offer came or behind the scenes? Okay, fine, uyiphendele acting. Behind the scenes?
I just don't even want to be in that space, to be honest. I'm at a place now where I just want to say I want to take it a day at a time and see what happens. I need to be kind to myself. A lot has happened, so I'm not putting pressure, as much as I'm not young anymore, but it is what it is. I don't want to rush and say, I need to do this and get this done. I don't want to do that to myself. I just want to be kind and see what happens. Behind the scenes, I've never been one for the behind the scenes. The gift of acting is something that should have provided for me, to live a decent life and be able to take that money and go and build something with my other passions. And this is how it works in other places like Hollywood, where people, they know after one production, I'm going to start this. So a dry season, at least I've got this going on. We were never given that. I mean, people will see the amounts that I earned during my career. I could never build anything from that, So yeah.
Yeah. Nangu broken hearted pa uMaphili. Nangu Marizuti, Dirty East is pleading for one last call. Who did?
No, Dirty East.
Dirty East is pleading for one last call. Kazoba into land closure. The last dance. Uyayibona kuthiwa hayi besingayazi ubugqibelisa ngoku besikubona ithi ke ngoku sizawuyazi uba siyagqibelisa ke ngoku utsho uMarisa
Akeva ke uMarisa.
She's relenting.
Hayi
sizamnika ubabuso Mavathi samnika ubabuso.
Yeah, no, she deserves.
And then Aya is back saying, would you ever maybe start your own thing the right way? Maybe your own production, or raise the new cohort ezawuba ngabantu abazizilumko and all that, because the reality is you have that wealth of knowledge. Isisele sona senyathi usiso, and you cannot take that to the grave. Before uphendule ke masensazisa abantu bana beningalijonga ixesha ndilibonile ngoku because of uMr Ndara sekhona sekhona uMr Ndara. Once anikwe ixesha unikwe ixesha kodwa join us ngexesha elithile and ujoyine ngela xesha uSendara. It is a reminder ukuthi kufuneka sithi wind out. Mhlawumbi kuzawufuneka abe khona upart 2 Mavathi, but ke khawuphendele ukubana would you ever maybe start your own thing the right way?
I think it goes back to the answer that the space is just so tainted for me. I just don't see it. And there's also a challenge, it's a great challenge. There are so many people who actually do want to start their own productions. It's a challenge because they don't have the right connections, or they're not in the right social circles to get funding for things. So there's that also. It's difficult to raise money, to do your own production or to start your own production company. I don't know if things have changed now in South Africa. Maybe funds are more accessible now, but I've been hearing a lot of people being challenged in accessing funds to start their own things and open their own production companies.
Yeah, I think we are wrapping up now, Mavathi. Well,
thank you.
There are people that rejected you. You've mentioned some in the book. Are you open to reconciliation with those who rejected you?
Like on purpose to...
On purpose, or maybe out of ignorance, or because of the pressures of the time?
I don't think I'm open to that right now. I mean, it's still raw. When people do something repeatedly to you, to break you, it's hard to kind of just gloss over that and say, oh, they're reaching out. And when something is not done because you thought of it, or you're doing it because of the pressure, it's not genuine to me.
Yeah.
This could have been stopped at a time when I was raising issues quietly. Somebody could have said, let me sit down and talk to you. What's going on? But now I don't think I would think anybody who said, let's sit down and talk, I wouldn't think they're being genuine.
Yeah.
Because now everything is out there in the open. So yeah, I'm not sure if I could do that at this stage.
Okay. All right. Let me take 2, 3 comments and then we close it. And I ask one last question. And then we go to Mr. Ndara. Mr. Ndara ngubhuti kaMavati. Ubhuti Mzukisi Ndara. Uzawusibulela bethu nani. Apha elaunchini. Mandithathe. Oh, please, Keith. Mapili is private parts. My name is pronounced as you say it.
You?
Oh, God. Mapele. Mama. Hey. And he said, Dane, manukolo. Pinda. Oh, that's getting this better up first question. Private parts. Damn, man. sorry, Miss Boyce. And then Usilk Uti, we need to see you and Viola Davis on something. Kodwa ke. Your closure na sasiyidinga okanye sisayidinga. Hey, Viola Davis is your namesake, Mbondeni. Usilk is onto something.
Well.
No comment on that.
That could definitely happen in a dream of mine. If I sleep well, I could find myself.
And then ulindo kuhle Pastor Bray Sobo Utiena, what a great actor. All the best for the future, Biggie. We love you and we see you.
Thank you.
Wakufaka inhliziyo zantathu kena uNansika azophukana inhliziyo. Hayi, azophukana.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, nanku ke uthi thiza unganishinda semva ke Keith uthi uzamana can sis Vatiswa please have master classes. Azinando kwenza ke no actor ke ngoku. Usisele senyathi Mpondeni. Master classes.
Okay, there is something to think about.
Yes, good to-do list. Sayilandela ke nalo. Sayilandela ke le. Bhala phansi. Yes. Okay, Babati, as we conclude before Siyaku Mr. Ndara, what does the next chapter of Vatiswa Ndara look like beyond this book?
That's it. Just taking it a step at a time. You know, as I was saying, I don't want to put pressure and say I need to have this done. I'm busy with Unfiltered. I'll see where that takes me, you know, because there are people like you who want to do e-launch. So that keeps me busy, and we see what the next thing is. And so things grow. I do need to just be kinder to myself and just pace myself and move to the rhythm of what my body needs, you know, and then we'll see.
Wow, Mavati, that was my 25th question, and I still have 19 more questions. And I know I still have more people that are watching. Uchaba lixesha. Uchaba lixesha. Bebesangena abantu bayabulela kakhulu. Now I'm just going to join in uSendara. Make ngisuse izinto ezininzi ke ngoku zisitha apha. Welcome Sendara.
Thanks, Kitman. Ndiyavakala phofu.
Siyakuva loud and clear.
Okay,
Siyakuva
no,
loud.
that's great. That's great.
Yes, hayi wethu si-ready ngoku zonke iimpawu ziyabonisa. All signs are showing that we are ready to be thanked. We are very humbled to have you, Sendara. We know that you are not an idling man, but wavuma xa sikubiza to come. And as you were watching and watching people, commenting and contributing. Over to you, sir.
Kitman, no, thank you very, very much for this opportunity. And mhlambe maniqala apha nditsho ndithi nguntondo wasekhaya lo. Enguntondo nje kuthiwe manditsho naselusikisike ebhukazi nakulo mamakhe eqokolweni uba we're very, very proud of her. We're proud of you, Masukude, Ntlani, Mkhondwane, Xarha Eliphezulu. You've raised the level, and your craft has brought many joyous and beautiful hearts and souls. Njengobusiva nawe. Okwam ke kokokuba ndiphose amazwi to appreciate and to thank. And ndizaba in between ke ndizaba nguwe ndibe ndim through my voice, but ndibe ndinguwe in terms of who you really want to thank and people who mean a lot to you in terms of this journey. Firstly, Keithman, I want to thank abantu who have made this launch, this engagement possible by offering their platforms and time. We're aware of the great man, Putco Mafani. Yourself, Kitman, I know you've walked this journey and it's beautiful to watch. Mafa Bavuma, Bethusile Mcinga, Hlumelo Kabo. We thank you very, very much for the roles in Islalileyo, apha kudade wethu, and because you want to see a fly and even fly higher. And this is kuntosh ntlokwana. Oye wati, in the absence of a public relations detail, a whole team, Untof swiftly stepped in to assist Udadewethu with handling media inquiries and guiding her through during this process, and doing much, much more just to make sure that she's anchored to Vatiswa in what she's doing. We really, really appreciate. And of course, I'm just echoing amazwi akhe as I speak. Friends and family, Umandi, she talks a lot about Umandi Nkosi and her beautiful family who have been a support to her. Ulula Mamkina, I'm aware of that name as well every now and then. The one and only Bulelwa Pai, these are her friends, and we have provided sisterly support, not just now, but over time and over the years. They've been, if you like, the wind beneath her wings. I've also been asking Bandishu, but the book is available also. It's also available because of great contributions from Mandis Msongelwa, Ongezi Msongelwa, Joe Mangia, Ayanda Halimana, and Mariza Machaya, Vile Mariza Manevela, and so on. These are some of the people who are dutifully out there, them supporter Umavati. Special mention to make for Mandisi Chingana, sorry, I'm very aware of the work that he has been doing. We want to thank you as a family, and Vatiswa is thanking you from the bottom of her heart. Mchanam Usvatu Nyanam, in fact, Usvatu for encouraging me kucho kumamake when it's supposed to be the other way around. Svato, I'm very, very proud of you, Uchoke Usvatiswa. And then she comes to her siblings, which is Sis Mtwakazi, myself, Usipo, Kage na uvatswa ngakafuna balingavelela gama ke Sipho lika Babase. a nickname for support and encouragement over the years. Forever there. We thank you. Mandisho ndithi most significantly, she would like to thank her fans ne-supporters career yakhe okwayingumama kabulu uzothi ga ngoku, those at home and in other parts of the world. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this conversation, and I hope they enjoy the book. And I can just tell you can only enjoy the book if you have a copy. So
Yes.
go out there and get a copy and be fascinated. I've read the book, Njengo Kithman, a number of times. It's a very authentic story. I'll sign off, Kithman, by saying one of the things that need to be said about that book is about the South African pandemic, which is GBV. GBV, uvatiswa uyavela pha walking, if you like, let me use that, uhambaze in terms of the exposure and the brutality and the trauma that is involved in such. Go there and find it yourself, and so that some of us can get lifted and have solidarity. And also another theme, it's a location of a woman in a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
And uba I'm very passionate about watching abantu who walk the road less traveled. Has walked the road that is less traveled, glitz and glamour, but it's so important into your authenticity, because her experience and her narration is going to assist many people, over time. And then my parting shot is that South Africa is a place that it is because of people who stand up and say, this is not on. And I am going to go to that spot and say, the tone in this country right now, the level of accountability, the vigilance, and what Vatiswa is about has been espoused most recently by General Mkhwanazi. I'm not talking about what he's saying and what he's not saying. I'm talking about the level of accountability since that day. So Vatiswa is in that ilk, being comfortable in your skin, telling your truth and being authentic self, so that other people can go on. We stand on the shoulders of giants. So well done, Vatiswa, for what you have achieved. It's a legacy. Keep on keeping on. And thank you, Kithman, for being that anchor and always. We're very proud as a family. And thank you for the opportunity. Ndiabule.
Wow, thank you so much, Sendaka, and ucho kwavokoteka. Mandingabavaleli aba, incredible book launch. Thank you, Kit, for bringing Mavati to us and to talk about her book. Brilliant. And then Ati Uzimana, the Ndaka family is a gift to us, South Africans. Abuye Achukuti, I've read both books of the siblings, and they are a gift to us. Umandi simsongelwa uti high five ke nake. And ngolo hlobo ke sawukukumbela umsebenzi ebesingawo apha namhlanje, bendizama usa ke ikamera phaya kwi-producer yam isithele bethunana khawusondele producer ubonwe yini namadoda nansi iproducer yam uAya. That's my daughter, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, from the horse's mouth, direct. Yeah, thank you so much, Babadi. Thank you so much, Sendaka.
Thanks.
Iyafumaneka incwadi ku Take a Lot. Thanks, Aya. Iyafumaneka ku Amazon, and watch out our social media platforms. Nabo bonke ke abantu besele bebulelwe ngu Mr. Ndaka City. Share the link we know ukuthi abantu abaninzi they will watch this post in this live broadcast. Share the link, spread the word. What is important is that you get the book esandleni yokunceda abanye abantu. All right, ziyakhala nezami ifoni ngoku yatsho ukuthi ixesha lifikile. Mavathi hambophumla hlobo sam. Thank you very much, Sandara.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
All right then.